you are enjoying my stories and you have not subscribed, please support the channel by subscribing.
Ngozi watched 15-year-old Emeka practice piano, his long fingers moving across the keys with the same grace she had had as a child. Strange, since Samuel, her husband, had no musical ability whatsoever. "Mom, I need family medical history for my school project," Emeka said, looking up from his homework. "Dad keeps dodging my questions." This wasn't the first time. Samuel always became evasive when discussing Emeka's origins, claiming the boy's mother, his ex-girlfriend, had died in a car accident when Emeka was a year old. "He says you're not my real mom anyway," Emeka continued, "so your medical history doesn't count." The words stung, even though they were true. Ngozi had married Samuel when Emeka was 6 months old, after Samuel's ex supposedly died. She had raised the boy as her own, but lately, she had noticed things that didn't add up. Emeka had her rare AB negative blood type. He was left-handed like her, not right-handed like Samuel. He even had a small birthmark on his shoulder, the same one she had in the exact same spot. "Why don't you just do one of those DNA tests?" Emeka suggested. "My friend did one and found out cool stuff about his ancestry." Samuel's coffee mug crashed to the floor. "That's not necessary. I have all your medical information." "Then why won't you share it?" Emeka pressed. "Because some things are private." Samuel snapped, then softened his tone. "I'll get you what you need for school." But that night, Ngozi heard Samuel on the phone. "She's getting suspicious. If they do that test, everything falls apart. We need to be ready." Against Samuel's protests, Ngozi secretly ordered a DNA test kit. "I just want to help with his ancestry project," she told herself, but deep down, she needed to know why this boy felt so familiar. The kit arrived while Samuel was at work. She and Emeka swapped their cheeks, laughing about the process. "What if we're secretly related?" Emeka joked. "Like, what if I'm your long-lost nephew or something?" "That would be quite a coincidence." Ngozi smiled, but her heart was racing. Samuel found the empty box that evening. "What is this?" "Emeka wanted to do the ancestry test for school. I told you I'd handle it." His voice was ice cold. "Why didn't you listen?" "Because you never handle anything about his background. It's like you're hiding something." Samuel's face went pale. "Cancel the test." "It's too late. We already sent the samples." That night, Samuel made 3 phone calls. Ngozi could only catch fragments. 15 years. If she finds out the hospital records, we agreed. The envelope arrived on a Tuesday. Ngozi opened it alone, expecting to confirm what she already knew, that she and Emeka weren't related. The results knocked the breath from her lungs. 99.7% probability that she was Emeka's biological mother. Her hands shook as she read it again, and again, and again, but the words didn't change. She had given birth to Emeka 15 years ago, but she had no memory of being pregnant, no memory of giving birth, no memory of holding him as a newborn. Racing to her bedroom, she examined her body in the mirror. There, a faint scar along her bikini line that she had always assumed was from childhood surgery. But what if? She called her doctor's office. "I need my complete medical records from 15 years ago." "I'm sorry, Mrs. Okafor, but those records were destroyed in a fire in 2018. "A fire?" "Yes, unfortunately, we lost several years' worth of files. Is there something specific you need?" Ngozi hung up, her mind racing. She called 3 more hospitals in the area. All had the same story. Records destroyed, systems hacked, files corrupted. Someone had been systematically erasing her medical history. Ngozi drove to her old apartment building, where she had lived before marrying Samuel. The elderly security guard, Mr. Adamu, remembered her. "Oh yes, Mrs. Okafor, you disappeared for almost a year. We were so worried." "Disappeared? You left suddenly, around 2008. Your rent was paid up, but you never came back. Then one day, we returned with a baby and that man who became your husband." Ngozi's blood ran cold. "I left for a year?" "Yes. You said you were going to care for a sick relative, but you looked different when you came back. Thinner, tired, and you had that beautiful baby boy. Did I seem confused, like I didn't remember things?" Mr. Damo's expression grew concerned. "Now that you question it, you seemed lost, like you were in a fog, and you kept asking strange questions about your own apartment." That evening, Ngozi confronted Samuel. I gave birth to Emeka, didn't I? Samuel's face crumpled. Ngozi, sit down. This is complicated. I'm not sitting down. I want the truth. All of it. You were very sick. You had a complete nervous breakdown. You don't remember because your mind blocked it out. I was gone for a year. Where was I? In a private facility, getting treatment. What kind of treatment? Samuel hesitated. Psychiatric care. You were violent, Ngozi. You tried to hurt yourself and the baby. Dr. Falake Adebayo had been practicing psychiatry for 30 years. When Ngozi arrived at her office with questions about a missing year, the doctor's expression grew troubled. I remember you, she said quietly. You were brought to us in 2008, but I can't discuss your case without proper authorization. I am authorizing it. I need to know what happened to me. Dr. Adebayo pulled out a thick file. You were admitted after a severe psychotic break following childbirth, postpartum psychosis with dissociative episodes. I don't remember any of this. That's not unusual. You experienced traumatic amnesia. Your mind simply erased the experience to protect you. What triggered it? Dr. Adebayo hesitated. According to your husband, you discovered something about your pregnancy that caused the breakdown. He never told us what it was, but it was severe enough to cause complete memory loss. How long was I here? 11 months. You were catatonic for the first 6 months, then slowly began to recover, but you never regained memories of your pregnancy or the birth. And Samuel, did he visit? Every day. He was devoted to you, and he took excellent care of your son while you recovered. But something in the doctor's tone suggested there was more to the story. As Ngozi left Dr. Adebayo's office, a nurse approached her in the parking lot. Mrs. Okafor, I'm Nurse Chioma. I cared for you during your stay. Do you remember me? I would never forget you. You were so young, so broken, but there was something about your case that never sat right with me. Ngozi's heart raced. What do you mean? Your husband was very controlling. He monitored all your visitors, screened your mail, made all your medical decisions. That's not unusual, but what? You had other visitors. A woman who claimed to be your sister. She came every week, but your husband always had her turned away. I don't have a sister. She said her name was Adana. She was desperate to see you. She said you were in danger. Ngozi's hands trembled. Where is she now? I don't know, but she left something for you. Nurse Chioma handed her an envelope. I kept it all these years, hoping you'd come back. Inside was a letter dated 15 years ago. My dearest Ngozi, if you're reading this, then you've started to remember. I tried to warn you about Samuel, but by the time I found you, it was too late. Meet me at the old church on Victoria Street. I have something that belongs to you. Your sister Adana. But I don't have a sister, Ngozi whispered. Maybe you do. Nurse Chioma said softly. Maybe you don't just remember her either. The old church on Victoria Street was abandoned, its windows boarded up, but sitting on the steps was a woman who looked exactly like Ngozi. Same face, same build, same hands. Ngozi had called her earlier to arrange this rendezvous. Her phone number was on the letter that was left for her. Adana, Ngozi called out uncertainly. The woman turned and her eyes filled with tears. Ngozi, I've been waiting for you to remember. I don't understand. I don't have a sister. We're twins. Identical twins. We were separated at birth. You were adopted by the Okafors. I was raised by the Adeboyos. Ngozi's word tilted. That's impossible. Is it? Look at me, Ngozi. Really look. It was like looking in a mirror. Every feature, every expression, identical. I found you 3 years before you got married, Adana continued. We were so happy to find each other. You were pregnant then, about to have a baby. You were scared, but excited. I don't remember any of this, because Samuel made sure you wouldn't. He couldn't risk you having a support system. He needed you isolated, dependent on him. Why would he do that? Adana's expression darkened. Because he was already married to someone else, and your son isn't just your biological child. He's evidence of Samuel's bigamy. Samuel has been married to a woman named Kemi for 20 years. Adana explained. They have 3 children together. You were his mistress, though you didn't know it. Ngozi felt sick. But we're legally married. No, you're not. Your marriage certificate is fake. Samuel has been living a double life, maintaining 2 families. That's impossible. I would know. Would you? Think about it. Does Samuel ever take you to work events? Have you met his family, his colleagues? Ngozi's mind reeled. Samuel always said his family was dead, that his colleagues were boring, that he preferred to keep work and home separate. When you got pregnant, he panicked. He couldn't let you exist in his real life, but he couldn't abandon you either. You knew too much about his business dealings. What business dealings? Samuel isn't just a businessman. He's involved in money laundering, tax evasion, fraud. The pregnancy threatened to expose everything. So he had me committed? He drugged you during labor? Told the doctors you were having a psychotic break. While you were sedated, he had you transferred to a private facility where he could control your treatment. But why would the doctors go along with that? Because Samuel's real wife, Kemi, is a prominent psychiatrist. She was the one who diagnosed you with postpartum psychosis. She was the one who authorized your treatment. Ngozi confronted Samuel that evening, armed with the truth. I know about Kemi. I know about your real family. Samuel's mask finally slipped. You don't know anything. I know you're a bigamist. I know you had me committed to hide your crimes. I know my sister has been trying to find me for 15 years. Your sister is delusional. She's been stalking us, trying to break up our family. Our family. Samuel, I'm not even your wife. You are in every way that matters. I love you, Ngozi. I love our son. Our son, who you've been lying to about his parentage. Our son who doesn't know his father is a criminal. Samuel's expression turned cold. You can't prove any of this. Everyone thinks you're crazy. You spent a year in a psychiatric facility because you put me there. Because you needed help. And if you start making accusations, I'll have you committed again. This time, permanently. But Ngozi was no longer the broken woman he had manipulated. I have evidence, medical records, witness testimonies, financial documents, and I have something else. What? I have Emeka. And when he learns the truth about what you've done, he will never forgive you. The confrontation came to a head when Kemi arrived at the house, demanding to know why her husband's mistress was causing problems. Samuel told me you were having another episode, Kemi said coldly. Perhaps it's time for you to return to professional care. I'm not your patient anymore, Ngozi replied, and I know exactly who you are. Emeka walked in during the argument, taking in the scene. His father with another woman, his mother standing defiant, and a strange woman who looked identical to his mother. What's going on? He asked. Emeka, Ngozi said gently, I need to tell you some things about our family, about who we really are. Samuel lunged forward. Don't you dare. I'm your biological mother, Ngozi said quickly, and your father is married to someone else, has been for 20 years. That's impossible, Emeka said, but his voice was uncertain. Adana stepped forward. I'm your aunt, your mother's identical twin sister. We were separated at birth, just like you and your mother were separated by lies. The truth came out in a flood. The bigamy, the fake marriage, the psychiatric abuse, the systematic erasure of Ngozi's memories and identity. All these years, Emeka said quietly, I thought there was something wrong with me. I never felt like I belonged. You belong with us, Ngozi said. You always have. Samuel and Kemi were arrested. Samuel for bigamy, fraud and false imprisonment. Kemi for medical malpractice and conspiracy. The psychiatric facility was investigated, revealing years of abuse and illegal detention. Ngozi's medical records were recovered from a private storage facility that Samuel had been paying for years. Everything was there. Her pregnancy, the birth, the deliberate psychological manipulation that had followed. Emeka struggled with the revelations but found strength in finally understanding his identity. I always knew something was wrong, he told his mother. I just didn't know what. Adana became a constant presence in their lives, helping Ngozi recover memories and rebuild her sense of self. We lost 15 years, she told her twin sister, but we have the rest of our lives. On Emeka's 16th birthday, they celebrated as a real family for the first time. Ngozi had commissioned a new family portrait, herself, Emeka and Adana, 3 people who had been torn apart by lies and brought back together by truth. 2 years later, Ngozi received a call from a woman in Jos. I think my husband has been drugging me, she whispered. I can't remember things and he says I'm crazy, but I found your story online. Can you help me? Ngozi smiled grimly and picked up her phone to call her lawyer. there was still work to do.
You are the real hero for watching to the end. Don't forget to like and subscribe.